really relied on the guys that played college basketball today, their experience, their leadership, especially these two guys sitting next to me, had great outings. We fixed some things at halftime from a defensive standpoint, especially rebounding. I think we were -9 the first half. We ended up +2 on the game, so did a much better job on the glass. They pose problems. They got some versatile athletes. They got some guys that can shoot the ball. We lost Taylor twice in the second half, and bang bang. It was 6 quick points, and we just couldn't put them away. And that's a credit to them and their team, their coaching staff. But these guys just had a little bit more in them today, and their fight was good. So now we get to try to get some rest, try to get healthy, attack these exams, and we'll try to go compete on Saturday.
I want to talk about this year. Obviously,
We'll talk away. We want to talk about it. Talk about it.
3 straight double-doubles, I believe. Set a career high last game, beat it this game. I'll start with you. What have you seen, I guess, that has gone into his development this season?
Well, it's not just this season. We saw it last year as well. I didn't know him until what was it, April of over a year ago, and he had that terrible word potential attached to him, and I don't really care for that word, and he's worked where he's turning that potential into production, and he's I think Coach Godino's done a great job working with him. I think he's done an outstanding job of not worrying about anything else other than just the work and trying to get better, and he poses a lot of problems, and I think we're seeing his work right now. I think he's playing with a ton of confidence. That's nothing that I can give him. Like, that confidence comes from the work that he's put in, and he's just got to continue to grow in those areas. He's really grown this year, in my mind, as a leader. I still think he's got a long way to go, but he's taken some huge steps. Very proud of how he's playing and his development. But as he knows, come tomorrow at 10 a.m., I'm going to be on him to continue to get better. Like, this can't be your best game. You've got to continue to grow. But he's done a lot of really good things for us, and I couldn't be happier for him. And then just proud of him for how he handles himself.
This year, you kind of knew going into the season that you were going to have an increased role this year. I guess, how have you been able to adjust to that and kind of flourish in that role this year?
I feel like just going through it. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. Being that type of guy, being the main person in the scouting report. I got a lot of guys like Jalen help me out, and he's good at dishing the ball and making the right decisions. But I didn't know how to handle it. It's just kind of going through it. Doing my best, trying to make sure my morals and things are on the right foot. So that carries everything else. But just going through it.
Is there anything that you do outside of kind of what's required as far as practice goes? I know I saw you after a game shooting around. What are some other things you do like that?
Definitely, I try to get in with the GAs and try to get as much work as possible, depending on how my body's feeling and stuff. But I'm trying to just fine tune the game whenever, because I'm not a perfect player. Obviously, you don't go 20 for 20 in a game. Got things I can work on, so just whatever.
Yeah. Jalen, for you too, just kind of as the main point, trying to, he just was talking about the chemistry that you two have, and then you're also finding ways to score quite often. I know we've talked about it a little bit this year as far as bouncing between the two, but do you feel like you've gotten more comfortable in your role too here?
First, I want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and definitely just watching a lot of film with the coaches, just finding that balance on when to always being aggressive, always, and just making sure I give guys like Sheer, Mickey, JB, Ben, everybody on my team get them easy buckets, and then it opens up everything for me.
Yeah. This is the last home game here until conference play starts. For you two, is there something different about playing at home as opposed to playing on the road?
Absolutely, yeah. It is. Obviously the environment and things that gives us, +5 energy, whatever, gives us energy to go out there and compete. But just having a familiar, the rims, everything. I mean, it goes into it. But at the end of the day, the road is the same gym. 2 baskets, so gotta go out there and compete.
Yeah, I agree. different environment, but I mean, it's basketball. Whether we're somebody else's place or in the park, we're still hooping. Court is 94 feet by 50. Coach loves to say this: 94 feet by 50, and the rims are 10 feet. So
Everywhere you
gotta
go.
go out there and just hoop.
So, I mean, you've only lost 2 home games so far here. Do you kind of look at it the same way as them? It's just, or how do you approach home games, I guess, as a
I'm
coach?
pissed off about the 2 losses. No, I don't. Like, I'm not a believer in that. I think that's, one of the things that, made the guy that I played for special. Like, we played to a standard. I talked to these guys about playing to a standard of Ball State basketball. Like he said, it don't matter where we're at. Like, you got to play to that standard. We got to grow in those areas as a team. And that was something that, was taught to me at a young age. And we just went out and competed. You try to, you have that competitive fire, that nature in you. And we got to do a better job of taking that on the road. And these guys can grow in that area. They understand that. And these young guys got to come on. Like, it doesn't matter where you play. You're trying to play to that standard. You guys have heard me talk about that before. Your opponents just give you different challenges in trying to achieve that standard of play. And so we've got to do a better job on the road. But I think one of the things that provides these guys why they like playing at home is they play in front of a crowd. We went to Detroit. There was 70 people there, 100 people there. Our fans, the community comes out and support. The students have been vocal. Like, that helps. And as you're trying to build a program, it takes everybody. And so those guys are doing their part, and these guys are doing theirs by racking up W's here in Marvin.
I just have one more, and it's for all 3. Just 2 tough non-conference games coming up with Indiana State and Minnesota, 2 of the bigger non-conference teams as far as conference goes. How do you feel like you guys can ride the momentum that you guys have right now to play well against those 2 teams?
I mean, like you said, the different teams pose a different threat. So we gotta watch the film, key in on what we need to, and play like how we gonna play. Yeah.
Just like Coach said earlier, we play to our standard. Their standard is defense. So if we can guard them, then offense is going to take care of itself.
No, I think the game in Indianapolis is really good for our university. It's our highest percentage of alumni live in the area. It gives us an opportunity to go down there and play in front of them. We get to play in an outstanding arena that is owned by an alum. We get to be a part of an event that also includes Purdue and Arizona. It's going to be a great opportunity for these guys to go out and compete. We loved our experience last year. I think we showed well enough. We got invited back this year. I'm probably second guessing who I invited to come with us, who I recommended to come with us in Indiana State. But I think it's a good day for basketball in the state to have three teams from the state competing there in Indianapolis, and then the #1 team in the country in Arizona. So it's going to be a great event, and we'll try to go out there and we'll attack these finals this week, try to get some rest and get prepared, and try to go show as well as we can.
For sure.
Coach, -9 on the boards in the first half and +11 in the second half. I mean, that's a pretty stark difference. What did you see out there that gave you guys an advantage in the second half?
I just thought we were a little bit more in tune. When that ball went up, finding a body, putting a body on them. It's a physical team. They're old. They have, 5th-year, 4-year guys. They're strong, and the physicality. It took us a little bit to warm up to it. Now, we hit some jump shots early. It kind of got us off to a good start. But then they brought their physicality in the game. It took us a little bit to warm up to it. Once we did, I thought we handled ourselves pretty well.
I know taking care of the ball is a big emphasis. And last game you guys had 21 today, 1 turnover in the first half, only 6 for the game. What led to that efficiency?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're not a defense that forces a ton of turnovers. Now, you've seen us, and I talk about it in practice, that we turn it over at any time. And we did a much better job. I think, you look at Jalen, like, coming off, a game where he has some excess of turnovers. At Detroit, coming in today with 5 assists and 0 turnovers, it's really good. And I think as these older guys go, some of our younger guys fall in line and see that he was much more stronger with the ball. His decisions were better. Was able to get rid of it a little bit quicker when he got into some tight spots. but decision-making overall from all of our guys was much better.
Coach, free throw shooting, the last couple of games.
I'm the free throw coach. I'm the free throw coach. I take credit. No, I'm just-
The last couple of games, really solid at the line. I know that statistically this year, very big improvement from last year as far as free throws go. How much of an emphasis has that been at practice to cash in spots at the line?
we practice. We shoot free throws any more than we did last year. It's about the same, right? So, getting to the free throw line is a point of emphasis for us. I believe it's good offense. You're putting pressure on them at the rim. You're attacking them in spots. You're putting them in disadvantages where they got to help. It gets fouls on them. It can get some of their players off the court. Gives you an opportunity to get free ones. We were one of the top 10 teams in the country shooting free throw or getting to the free throw line last year. We just had a really good player depart us that struggled from the free throw line. That's other than that, these guys, it's the same, and so it's nothing that we've done any different, other than we just continue to put emphasis on trying to get there.
And then Jalen, some foul trouble for you. You ended up with 4 with I think 6 or 7 minutes to go in the game. How does your how do you adapt to that in game? And how do you play smart while still being aggressive and still making hustle plays and contributing?
I mean, you said it right there. Just playing smart, staying disciplined, but also, I gotta defend, and I gotta be aggressive always. So it's just having that mental note. I've been playing basketball for a long time, and I've been in some foul trouble before. So it's just all about, just being smart pretty much, and just picking when I need to be a little bit more aggressive or just not be so aggressive on defense, and yeah.
Bashir, one more for me. I know we talked early in the year about you putting on some strength in the off season. Like you said, with the way you guys had to adapt to the physicality today, have you felt a difference in the way that you're able to kind of combat an opponent's physicality?
It's not really a difference. It's more mental for me. Putting on pounds and stuff, it's going to do so much. You have a mentality that you're going to be strong. You're not going to let this guy bump you off the line or anything. That's more to it. It's more of that than anything else, I feel like.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.